to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, to the Mr. Marty Show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome, 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 friends, to the Mr. Marty Show. All about Ireland, all about Ireland. Gonna take you over, my friends, to Ireland. Welcome, 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 welcome to the show. 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 Go on, yeah, welcome to the show. Mr. Marty St. Patrick Show. Live action on the Mr. Marty Show. Always live action. Ready? 1, 2, 3, bang! Okay.
Hello everyone, Polly Chase here from Marty Fine Art. Have you visited Marty's website lately? I encourage you to check it out. We've added a new section for greeting cards featuring 8 of Marty's original artworks, including his latest painting, One-Eyed Wolf. And did you know you receive a 20% off discount when you join the email list? Sign up today at martinmccormick.com and you'll receive a code for 20% off your first order. Shop for fine art prints, t-shirts, tote bags, coffee mugs, greeting cards, and so much more. Apply your code in the shopping cart and enjoy your 20% off discount courtesy of martinmccormick.com. Thanks for listening and happy shopping!
Hi, Mr. Marty fans. Happy St. Patrick's Day or St. Patrick's Week. Welcoming you to a wonderful Irish program. I want to tell you about my trip to Ireland. It was back in 2018 and my granddaughter and I went with our friends to Ireland. And the first thing I remember when we touched down was all the greens, the green colors. Now it's called the Emerald Isle, but to say just an Emerald Isle is not correct. It's every color of green that you could ever want. You have emerald, you have all of the beautiful olive greens, and just blue greens like in Kentucky. Just beautiful. And our tour driver was Terry O'Connor, a jolly person, and told us jokes, taught us a little bit of Gaelic, what I don't remember at all, but he was such a good Irish spirit. And as we were driving along, you see the rock walls. Not rock walls put up by cement, but laid stone on stone centuries before. Done by the farmers, done by their families. Just beautiful. And they've lasted all these years. We also went to Kinsale, that is where we kind of made our depot, and we had our hotel there, and it was beautiful. You know what was really beautiful amid the rain of Ireland? Were all the buildings and the houses. They painted them yellow and purple and reds to brighten everything out. And against the green background, just magnificent. And nobody complained about all of the different colors like they did about my purple door. And we went to Misenhead. Misenhead has got a lighthouse there, but you have to walk a very long way to get there, and I only made it halfway there. But as you are on Misenhead, you see the crags of the rocks, and you see wild horses who had the rain of the rocks and the valley, and they ran wild, and they were beautiful, so beautiful. And the people of Ireland, how wonderful they were, as if they were all little fairies with all this sprite and spirit about them. And we met travelers. Now, travelers, to some people they might think they're gypsies, but that is not what they are. They live in caravans. They work here and there. They raise horses and they race horses. In fact, in Ireland, there's many fairs where the travelers trade their horses or show them. And wonderful, wonderful Irish spirits also. And then we went to Spike Island. It's a very boat ride across bumpy waters. When you get there, it's so old. Now, Spike Island has been a penitentiary. It was a holding place for prisoners. It was an orphanage. It was a workhouse. It was a monastery. And as you go into the buildings that are collapsing, centuries old, you feel the spirits. You feel the fairies. And walking there was so beautiful, and you tingle with how you feel being among the old buildings. And we listened to a lot of Irish music, one of my favorites. And then on our last day, we went to Dublin, and we also went on a Viking tour and had Viking hats and just all the fun of it. And we went to Guinness. I don't drink, so that was nice to see the place. But then, while we were in Dublin, Terry O'Connor told us a story about when he was in a hotel in Dublin, and he thought he saw something behind him, and he looked and there was nobody behind him. And then all of a sudden the lights went out. Well, lo and behold, whether it was because Terry asked them to or whether it was just one of those things that happened, at our hotel, all the lights were out. And we couldn't go to our rooms because there was no electricity for blocks. But it was fun to sit there in candlelight and reminisce about the good people, the good times, the beautiful scenery, and seeing fairies. That is beautiful. My mind goes to a fairyland, a fairy ring, thinking good thoughts and many Irish thoughts. So have a wonderful week of being Irish. This is Mom Gilmore wishing you peace and having it come back to me. Peace.
And now, 30 seconds of cue.
Go crazy. Yeah.
Everyone knows St. Patrick as the Irish saint who banished the snakes from Ireland. But he wasn't Irish, and there never were any snakes in Ireland. The man who would come to be known as St. Patrick, Apostle of Ireland, was born in Britain around 386 AD. His father, Calphurnius, was a deacon from a Roman family of high social standing. Patrick's mother, Conchessa, was a close relative of the great patron saint, Martin of Tours. Patrick's grandfather, Pontius, was also a member of the clergy. Surprisingly, Patrick himself was not raised with a strong emphasis on religion. Education was not particularly stressed during his childhood either. Later in life, this would become a source of embarrassment for the spiritual icon, who would write in his Confessio, "I blush and fear exceedingly to reveal my lack of education." When Patrick was 16 years old, he was captured by Irish pirates. They brought him to Ireland, where he was sold into slavery. There, his job was to tend sheep. Patrick's master was a high priest of Druidism, a pagan sect that held major religious influence over the country at that time. Patrick came to view his enslavement as God's test of his faith. During his 6 years of captivity, being often alone and afraid, as most of us are when we're alone and afraid, he turned to his God. In a vision, he saw the children of pagan Ireland reaching out their hands to him and grew increasingly determined to convert the Irish to Christianity. Around 408 AD, the idea of escaping enslavement came to Patrick in a dream, in which a voice promised him he would find his way home to Britain. Eager to see the dream materialize, Patrick convinced some sailors to let him board their ship. After 3 days of sailing, he and the crew abandoned the vessel in France and wandered lost for 28 days. They covered 200 miles of territory in the process, with Patrick ultimately becoming reunited with his family. A free man once again, Patrick went to Auxerre, France, where he studied and entered the priesthood under the guidance of the missionary Saint Germain. He was ordained a deacon by the bishop around 418 AD. As time passed, he never lost sight of his vision to convert Ireland to Christianity. In 432, he was ordained as a bishop and was soon sent by Pope Celestine to Ireland to spread the gospel to non-believers, while also providing support to the small community of Christians already working there. Upon his arrival in Ireland, Patrick was initially met with resistance, but managed to spread Christian teachings far and wide along with other missionaries through preaching, writing, and performing countless baptisms. Recognizing the history of spiritual practices already in place, nature-oriented pagan rituals were also incorporated into church practices. It is believed that Patrick may have introduced the Celtic cross, which combined a native sun-worshipping symbology with that of the Christian cross. Throughout his missionary work, Patrick supported officials, created councils, founded monasteries, and organized Ireland into dioceses. St. Patrick died in 461 in Saul, Ireland, and is said to be buried in the town of Downpatrick in the county Down. St. Patrick is recognized as the patron saint of Ireland, and his writings include the autobiographical Confessio and a letter to Coroticus. I think Patrick speaks to so many because in his writings, he remains humble. His story is common and relatable.
On the evening of the last Saturday in March, that's Saturday the 26th of March, from 8:30 p.m. till 9:30 p.m. local time, the Mr. Marty Show would like to invite you to take part in Earth Hour 2022 by switching off your non-essential electric lights and your non-essential electrical appliances for an hour. There's more information about this on the worldwildlife.org website. So that's Saturday, 26th of March, 8:30 p.m. till 9:30 p.m. local time for Earth Hour 2022. Thank you.
I'm often asked by friends, family, random Facebook quizzes, what's the one place that you've traveled to that you would advise people to go to and not to miss? And I always say Ireland. To me, Ireland is one of the most magical places that I've ever been to. I've been there 5 times now, and I would be happy to go back 5 times more. No matter how often you go, there are things to do that you've never done before, things to see that you've never seen before, and old friends to come back to that you can see time and time again and never tire of them. Places that are among my favorite in Ireland: the Cliffs of Moher, Killarney National Park are of such beauty that you can see them many times. Often it's driving through the Irish countryside and you look out the car or bus window and everything is beautiful and interesting. And you look out and whoop, there's a ruined castle, or there's a ruined abbey, or you just happen to be looking out the window and look, there's somebody demonstrating sheepdog trials over there. Or you're driving and the bus driver starts talking about whether or not people still believe in fairies. And look, there's the road built around a fairy tree because you wouldn't want to risk disturbing the tree and cutting down that tree and disturbing the fairies. All over the northern part of Ireland are stone circles built by the ancients, and there's a mystery there. What are those all about? And it's just fascinating. There are just so many fun little places to go, even if all you're doing is sitting in the pub and drinking a pint of Guinness, or going to the Celtic whiskey bar and trying probably more whiskeys than are good for you, or just relaxing in a comfy hotel lounge in the evening with friends, or listening to live music, which you can be found all over Ireland, or going out on your hotel balcony at 2 o'clock in the morning because you hear the loud sound of the deer rutting, and you can take wonderful photos of the deer right from your own hotel. Everything about Ireland is magic, and at this time of year when everyone's Irish, I can't recommend more highly that at your first opportunity, you hop a plane and get there, because you won't, I can assure you, you won't regret going to Ireland.
Jesse's all ready for tonight's show. Looking very good. Totally ready. Crowd's still coming in. 15 minutes to showtime.
Right, and.
When I caught your eye, I thought that I would die, hearing in my heart sigh at the sight of ya. When you let me hold your hand, I could finally understand that I never could tire of pursuing ya. Even though you said you do, I had to think it through, that you didn't do what I knew of ya. But the do that you did knocked me off my skids. I'm afraid I kinda tire of pursuing ya. Oh, the truth of love, forsooth, changes with the moon, melts the snow in June. New love's forever new, every day's a new, it's true as I pursue ya. Oh, the truth of love, forsooth, changes with the moon, melts the snow in June. New love's forever new, Every day's anew, as true as I pursue ya. Soon I had learned my ways were taciturn. Every effort did I burn in pursuing ya. Is it just a man's way, tripping over what he says, always making a major mess of pursuing ya? I can study all the books, lessons talk about my looks. I'm a song with no hook when it comes to ya. You know I wanna be lying neath your shady tree, 'cause it's just trying to pursue ya. Oh, the truth of love forsooth changes with the moon, melts the snow in June. New love's forever new, every day's anew, as true as I pursue ya. Oh, the truth of love forsooth changes with the moon, melts the snow in June. New love's forever new, every day's anew, as true as I pursue ya. I would love to have a night with the moon shining bright, and with fairy steps of light right beside ya. Love, you have me wroth, even though we two are troth. You're the flame and I'm the moth as I pursue ya. Oh, the truth of love forsooth changes with the moon, melts the snow in June. New love's forever new, every day's anew, as true as I pursue ya. Oh, the truth of love forsooth changes with the moon, melts the snow in June. New love's forever new, every day's anew, as true as I pursue ya. Oh, the truth of love forsooth changes with the moon, melts the snow in June. New love's forever new, every day's anew, as true as I pursue ya.
Thanks for watching the show. The Mr. Marty Show. The Mr. Marty Show. Well, it's all about St. Patty's Day in Ireland, I guess. About leprechauns and the rainbows, and this dog is trying to bite this t-shirt on the Mr. Marty Show. It's all about the color green. Shamrocks everywhere. Top hats with green shirts, or just green top hats. On the Mr. Marty Show. The Mr. Marty Show. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
It's the Mr. Marty Show.